Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So I oftentimes stay away from anything to do with politics. I stay away from like crime and for the most part because I don't want my channel to be like doom and gloom. But in this one instance, I have to come and more or less celebrate because I can't think of any way else to put it that the suspects in the Armaud Arbery case were all found guilty. And at first, I was feeling kind of bad for the guy that was videotaping because I was like, well, he didn't do anything. But it doesn't matter. If you're in a car with four gang members and they're all shooting people and you're the getaway driver, it doesn't matter. You're considered guilty because you were there and you didn't stop them. Granted, you can't stop grown people, but if you're videotaping, if you didn't like it and you had walked away, but you were videotaping, which means you was part of it, to videotape it, to watch it after, of this guy that was just jogging, that you all assume committed a crime, but who gave you the right to take his life? Because you in fear for your life. It's three people against one. He's jogging, going about his business, right? You all took his life and you was videotaping it, as I said before, so you could go relish in the moment and eat chips and drink beer while you look at it after, right? This happened a while back in Georgia. And it's a shame to know in these modern times that we're still living with racism, whether people want to believe it or not, or live in a bubble and say, oh, you being scared for your life is somebody breaking into your house. And you're like, oh, I think he's going to take my life, so I shot him in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock. He broke into my house. He broke into my car. He ran up on me with a gun, and I got the gun away from him, and I shot him. Self-defense can't be a guy is jogging and three people feel in fear for their lives, so they attack him and take his life. He didn't hit you. He didn't approach you. He was jogging by. I didn't know that was a crime. And for so many years, people have been, let's make it clear, if you're not a racist and you don't do this, then it doesn't pertain to you. But for those who are, this pertains to them. For many years, decades, centuries, black people's life have been taken by white people for no apparent reason other than racism. You in fear for your life with somebody going the opposite direction and you hunting them down and shooting them? No. So this has happened so often that people have gotten away with it that they actually are shocked. They're shocked and traumatized that they were found guilty on all charges. Because the guy, the camera guy, because there's a father and son and then there's the friend of the dad's or whatever. At first, like his counts are a little less, but more or less all of them are guilty, right? And I know Ahmad's family is very happy that can bring their son, nephew, I can't remember if he have kids, the kid's father back, uncle, whoever he is to whichever relative. They are elated, I'm sure. And as I said, it does not bring him back. But for once in a long time, we're seeing justice because we have seen in the last few years, especially a spike in the murder with black people against white people. We have seen a spike in that and cops and so on killing black people and nothing coming out of it. Okay, like Trayvon Martin, for instance, nothing coming out of it. So as a black person with black nephews, relatives, uncles, whatnot, I am happy to know that for one time in a long time, there is some justice for this, for Ahmaud and his family could feel a sense of relief as I said, and I repeat, let's reiterate this point, it does not bring him back, but at least they know justice is served. Because we have seen so many times, it's like insult on top of injury. You take my relative's life and nothing comes out of it and you're walking free, eating 3 meals a day, celebrating the holidays with your family, and I'm over here crying over my uncle, nephew, brother, whoever he is to me. You know what I mean? So some people would say, oh my God, it's the holidays and their family's so sad because they're going to jail, even if they're not sent right away. I don't know how that process goes. But regardless, their family will be sad that they got sentenced right before Thanksgiving. What about Ahmad's family? Aren't they sad that he's not there to celebrate the holidays with them? They're going to prison, yeah. It's sad. it's even sadder that somebody's dead. Okay? It's even sadder that someone lose their life. They're still going to go to prison and have a bed to sleep on, whether it's not luxurious. They're going to still have 3 meals, whether it's crap or not. They're still going to be able to talk to each other and whatever. Circumstances not great, but they put themselves there. Somebody lost their life. They're still alive. Their family could still go visit them and take them meals. So let's be clear. And as I say, a lot of times I stay away from heavy subject matters like this, but I am happy that for once, we're not again frustrated by another black person's life being taken and the people just walking off. And it's setting a bad example, and people just keep doing it. And a life is a life. It wouldn't matter if it was a black person did it or a white person do it. But let's be clear. This is what happens all the time. White people taking the lives of black people and nothing coming out of it. Like we're the lesser humans. Like we're nobody. No one would miss us. No one, we're not productive members of society. You know? So our life means nothing. That it could just be taken and then they walk free is an insult. It's insult to injury. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm not happy that justice is served. And I hope this set an example to people planning to do this to more people that, yes, you could go to jail too. Because as I say, people are so presumptuous. The look on these murderers' faces, they're so sad and, they're so shocked. And like it is sad that the society has made it this way that killing black people is a norm and then they just walk free, that they actually thought that they were going to get free. And to be honest, I actually thought they were going to get free because this is what has been happening. I'm not going to call their names and all of that. That's not my point right now. You could go look up the story, right? Armaud Arbery. You could go Google it. You could go look up the story. You could see their names and everything else. All I'm here to make a point that his family at least could have some sense of relief knowing that their relative's life is lost, but at least there's some justice. This is all. Okay, this is all I'm here to say. And I hope it sets an example that our life, taking our life, is not acceptable. And our life is not meaningless and less important than yours. Because I, for the life of me, could never understand. Like, for instance, I have a disability and I have some health issues. I could be standing right now, I could be dancing, I could be singing, and I could have an episode and just collapse and be shaken up on the ground. Or I feel it coming on and I start to get woozy and everything is going wrong or whatever. So I could be walking in the street and feel something coming on and go lean up on the wrong person's car or go in front of the wrong person's gate and just lean up on the gate because I feel like I'm going to collapse. Or I lean on the gate and collapse. And the next thing I know, they call the cops and say I was trying to break into their house and they shot me. Think about that. Think about that. I think about that. And to be quite honest, being transparent, I suffer from severe anxiety and depression. Okay? And severe anxiety from even walking outside because my biggest fear is collapsing in the street or in front of somebody's door, in front of somebody's home, near to somebody's car. And they thinking I'm a threat to them because they think I'm going to break in their car. Meanwhile, I'm just having an episode which happens and then it passes. Could be 5 minutes, could be whatever. I cannot tell you. It happens, I shake, I fall, and I'm hearing you talking to me, but I cannot respond to you. I'm just laying there. So then I could fall on top of somebody's car. And the next thing I know, I was going to break in their car. And my life is lost like that. Because they feel my life is less important than theirs. And they have a right to take my life and just walk away. So coming back to the point of my anxiety, that's a lot of times I don't go anywhere. And I want something, I try to get it online, Amazon, free shipping. As long as I spend $25, I could afford it. Amazon, free shipping. If not, I wait till I'm able to and I buy a lot of things. So I don't want to go outside because my anxiety is on an all-time high because all I think about, what if I collapse or whatever and it's in the wrong person's, front of the wrong person's home or car or whatever. You understand? Yes, so getting back to the point at hand, I don't want to have this video long and drawn out. I am just relieved that, justice was served. And I hope they set an example for other people, because this is basically a modern day lynching. There's no other way to look at it. It's a yeah, doesn't matter how you try to pretty it up, it's a modern day lynching. And as I said, it's sad to know. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but one of the murderers, because there's no other way to put it, is a retired cop. So could you imagine how he dealt with black suspects? And we don't know if other people may have died under his watch, and we just never knew about it, and they just went as missing. Because if you're out of that position of power and you're taking someone's life, could you imagine when you were in it and a black victim, a black suspect came before you, how you treated them, and how you could have maybe said they did things they didn't do? Because racism is very much alive and well. Okay? Yeah, there's a lot of evidence they didn't want, and a lot of the evidence trial, because they didn't want it to sway the jury. But I'm saying whatever evidence they did have, it's still good to know that it's obvious. And, an example has been made, because there's too many cases. There's too many cases that go by and the end result is not as this. So, as I say, I'm relieved. And yes, they won't be able to spend the holidays, how they would like, but neither is Ahmad. He's not around to be with his family. So, as I say, I don't want this to be too long. So I'm just relieved, and I'm surprised, as I say, because there's been so many cases like this and they get off. So, I'm kind of shocked, but shocked in a good way. And, hopefully deter other people who have that same mindset of taking people's life and being a racist. Hopefully deter other people. So that's all I want to say today. And if you're new to my channel and you don't like this video, it's okay. I have hundreds of videos, or at least 100, but I'm pretty sure it's a couple hundred. You could watch another video, but this is not, as I say, I try to stay away from religious things to do with politics, and really like talking about cases like this. But it have to be spoken about, because this is what we live with. This is what black people live with every day, hoping that their sons, nephews, husbands, boyfriends, whatever, go home, go to work or whatever, and come home safe, and not be racially profiled and their life taken away because somebody says they was afraid for their life. For somebody going the opposite direction, not bothering them at all. They're afraid for their life with you just walking by and breathing. Okay? So don't come for me. This is what we live with as black people. Okay? Anybody could provoke me and then say they was afraid for their life after they provoked me and I retaliate. Or they didn't even provoke me. I'm just going about my business and they're scared for their life. So, that's all I got to say on that. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you see other videos you're interested in. And for the people who've been subscribed, thanks for rocking with me. To all my rock stars. Love you all. See you in another video. Smooches.